Good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all attendees joining us from across India. I hope my voice is audible. If it is, I would like your help in the chat box to hear me out. All right, thank you so much. So we'll start with the introduction part. My name is Nazia, and I will be your host for today's webinar on the topic of VMware migration and modernization, all about transforming your IT infrastructure for the future. We are truly delighted to see such a wonderful participation from IT professional, cloud architects, infrastructure managers, and digital transformation leaders who have joined us today. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this learning session. This webinar is proudly organized by Axcessio, who are leading cloud transformation and digital modernization company. Access.io bridges the intersection of cloud innovation and intelligent automation. Today's session is about something transformative, agentic AI-led VMware migration, which are powered by Q-Transform, a cutting-edge approach that redefines how enterprise modernize legacy workloads. This is not just another migration strategy, it's a leap towards autonomous modernization where AI not only doesn't assist the actively leads, but also transformation while reducing migration. Here we will be doing how Amazon Q along with AWS generative AI assistant will be interpreted legacy architectures, automate considerization, and resolve complex over dependencies. We are here to give our best to introduce yourself. Over, if in case you have any challenges or faced issues which you all guys wanted to put in the chat box, feel free. So this isn't theory, it's a real. Access.io has successfully migrated legacy on ASP.NET application to AWS EKS using Q-Transform with Amazon Q acting as a co-pilot. So whether you are steering strategy, influencing architecture, or writing to the code, today's webinar will show you how agentic AI is not just augmenting team, it's transforming them. So let's dive in. So without further delay, it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today. We have Mr. Govind Kumar, whose designation is Cloud Architect and Practice Head. He has cloud transformation at Access.ai. Mr. Govind Kumar brings over decade years of experience in designing and implementing cloud modernization and migration strategies for leading enterprise. Over to you, Mr. Kumar. I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Nazir, thank you.
My pleasure. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Hey, hello everyone. I'm Govind, and I'm one of the cloud architects at Access. It's been almost a decade working in this cloud transformation journey and helping customers like yours, getting yourself migrated from different kind of environments. It can be on-premise setup, it can be on some other cloud, other hyperscaler altogether, right? Today we are going to cover the agentic AI-led cloud transformation journey, how to transform your complete IT infrastructure using the generative AI technology. So that's the agenda that we have for today, right? When you talk about Access.io, Access.io is one of the premier tier partner of AWS, and we have helped more than 500 customers getting themselves migrated from different sort of workloads to AWS. We do have the experience of, again, like we have developed more than 100 plus modules, assets, which can enable you getting yourself migrated in a seamless way to AWS. We are one of the early adopter of AWS, and we have been using AWS from almost 12 years now. Almost, it's more of AWS started their journey in 2006, and we started helping customers bringing their workload in AWS since 2012, 13. And that's where we stand right now as a cloud premier partner. We do have, again, a lot of competencies and STPs, which enables us to help you out in this complete journey. We are one of the specialized migration and modernization competency partner of AWS. And we were one of the early competency partner of AWS in this vertical. Along with that, we do have financial services competency, generative AI competency, along with a lot of SDPs as well. That can, that's the validation that we have got from AWS in order to get yourself migrated. With respect to the different industry requirement, we help customers going and transforming their complete IT infrastructure to the cloud. That's one of the verticals where we operate in. In addition to that, we also enable customers setting up their complete data pipelines, building data lakes for them, building those custom models, having all those cutting edge generative AI pipelines, and a lot more. When it comes to the application part, we do have the specialization in helping you out getting your complete application modernized, be it be the .NET application getting transformed to .NET Core, or be it be the Java one, which is running on the legacy and having it launched to the latest one. We do have a 24/7 managed services team, which can help you out monitor your complete IT infrastructure 24/7 in a seamless way and all AI powered. When it comes to the cloud computing part, right, and when you double click on the cloud transformation journey, generally customer will have different challenges across different platforms that they're hosting their complete workload. Sometimes the requirement would be to just go and bring their complete workload to cloud. Sometimes they might be running their complete workload on some sort of virtualization techniques and they want to bring it on AWS, right? Sometimes it's more of going and modernizing your complete infrastructure and having it containerized altogether. You will see few of the customers who is already having all those workload, but that code is right now, the code has been written in such a way that it is not cloud native, right? So be different pathways that is there. We help customers going ahead and bringing them up on cloud in different custom pathways that is present there, right? Be it be all those modern DevOps techniques and technologies that is there right now in the market. Now, when you talk about cloud transformation, right, it's all about bringing the complete workload, because we also understand that customers having their complete workload hosted across different verticals, they may be having different challenges altogether. Sometimes those challenges are something that is bearable, sometimes those challenges can be completely unbearable. And one of the recent noise that has come in, one of the recent dilemma that has come in is with respect to VMware, where because of the growing cost of the VMware licensing and all, we have realized that the customers are facing a lot of challenges in order to maintain and retain the current license of VMware. And that's where, whenever you talk about the VMware dilemma or the challenges that the customers are facing, what we have observed is those customers are majority of the time they're facing the issues with respect to the cost, because the licensing cost has increased significantly. In addition to that, we also see that customers are struggling to bring their VMware workload to AWS, considering the fact that it's not easy to bring something which is running on the legacy, right? So we understand that currently the customers' infrastructure is the legacy one, and they're facing a serious challenge with respect to having it migrated. So kind of they're stuck right now, right? And as a result of it, sometimes even if they want to try it out, they fail. And the reason behind that failure is the kind of support and the ecosystem that they found around that. And that's where we thought of bringing something which can help you out going ahead and transforming those things, right? So it's more of that whenever you talk about any sort of migration or any sort of complex migration to be precise, you will see that uh, there are major challenges that is with respect to the discovery. Customers face a lot of issues. Let's say if you have 5,000 servers, how to go ahead and collect all those inventory detail of 5,000 servers and then do the proper mapping of it. How to go and create a business case in such a way that, you know, we know that which server has to be migrated or which server needs to be retired, right? So different challenges with respect to that. Then you will see that, you know, you'll have a lot of challenges around the kind of complex network that is already there on the on-premise setup, right? So one is just going ahead and doing the discovery. Second is with respect to go and do the complete mapping, creating those TCOs and all. having those dependency mapping fixed, the configuration error, if we go and try to approach these migrations manually, oftentimes we see that we're stuck at those configuration mistakes, right? So there are a lot of challenges that we see people around, I mean, customers around us generally they're facing right now. And that's where we realize that something that can help you out going ahead and transforming all these things in a seamless way is Amazon's Agentic AI solution. So we have developed our own framework, and in addition to that, we leverage Amazon's Agentic AI solution, which can help you out going ahead and transforming the complete workload, which is either hosted on your VMware cloud, or let's say if you have an application which is a .NET application, and you want us to go and transform those application code and get it upgraded to .NET Core, there also we can help you out going and doing that transformation. So there are two things that we offer right now for the customers. One is with respect to the VMware modernization. Second is with respect to the application modernization using this agentic AI framework. And in addition to that, if any workload requirement that we see customers having it, we try to solve that using the experience that we're having in some other domains as well. Now, so the framework that has been developed is in such a way that we do the complete assessment of certain infrastructure using sometimes using some agents, or using sometimes using some non-agentic solutions. So one is to go ahead and do the complete discovery of the infrastructure. Second is, once that discovery has been completed, going ahead and doing the complete wave planning, right? Once that wave planning is successful, then doing that complete landing zone setup, having all those templates written, writing all those run books, and then finally having it completely transformed. So that's the approach that we generally follow. Now today's agenda is more to cover on the agentic AI transformation, agentic AI based transformation, and that's where we do have the expertise around Amazon Q for Transform, which can not only help you out going and doing the complete assessment, but it can also help you out going and bringing your VMware workload, or even if you have the mainframe workload, there also this tool can be helpful. If you're dealing with the application code, there also this tool is very much helpful in that way. Now, you might be thinking that how this complete transformation process looks like, or what are the different stages that this tool generally follow, right? It's more of that in this complete transformation journey, right? It starts with the discovery, followed by the wave planning, network conversion, and then finally doing the complete migration and deployment for your complete workload, right? So that's the flow, that's the transformation process that we are having. Now, you might be thinking that, Govind, you have told that, okay, these things can be done, but do you have any sort of demo which can showcase that, how this complete, let's say that if a customer is having 500 VMs, and if there is a requirement to go ahead and bring all those VMs on AWS, that VM can be either on the on-premise setup, that VM can be in fact on some other hyperscalers as well. It can be on Microsoft Azure, it can be on Google Cloud, or it can be on some other cloud, for instance. Let's say if there's a requirement where you need to bring that VM, particularly the VMware workload, if you need to bring that VMware workload in AWS, that can be done using this. I mean, this is the demo, and that demo showcases how we generally approach towards that complete transformation. In addition to that, we do, have that capability where if you feel that right now VMware is good for you, but you just wanted to, change your complete underlying infrastructure, you don't want to go and repurchase all those hardwares. Instead of that, you want to have the VMware license being used, but not the underlying infrastructure. In that case also, we do have some services which can help you out going and bringing your VMware workload license bring on AWS and then have it completely hosted. Now, this demo is all about there's a workload right now. That workload is hosted on Microsoft Azure with the VMware setup, right? All those setup is right now running, And the intent was that the workload had diverse operating systems like Linux, Windows, databases, and complex networking and storage as well. So the intent is to bring the complete workload from the other hyperscaler to AWS using this agentic AI solution. Now, I'll directly switch to the demo. I hope my screen is visible now. Perfect. Thank you. Right. Now, this setup is all about there's a workload that is hosted on Microsoft Azure, where you see that on the left-hand side, we have got different kind of workloads. Few are VMs, which is kind of having the operating system as Windows, few are having the Linux, and some complex networking requirement. If you can see the screen, you'd have seen that on the left-hand side, there are different server names that is there. And at the center, there's one server that I have picked, which is having the Linux operating system with certain configurations, obviously. Now, this is a typical console, the vCenter console that you see, right? Now, if you need to go and bring this complete workload to AWS, there's certain steps that has to be followed, right? Those steps are that what we generally do. This is the complete workload that is hosted, and this is just a very sample website that I'm just presenting so that you know that uh, if there's a requirement to go ahead and bring this workload which is running on Microsoft Azure on VMware, if we need to go and get away from that VMware licensing, have it hosted on AWS native virtualization technique, and getting it hosted free of cost for at least for the virtualization part, this is what we can do, right? The first thing that we need to do is to go and install RV tool. This RV tool is nothing but this is a tool which takes the complete snapshot of your current infrastructure with respect to the configuration that is there, right? So you'll have to download this RV tool software. This software will help you out, getting your complete inventory that you have right now on VMware imported. So that's the first thing. Once you have got it, you will be passing your IP addresses, the VM details, right? And you will see that this RV tool, after you pass all the details, you will see that all the configuration related to your VMs is coming here in this tool. Now, what we will do is we will be exporting this complete thing. And if you see this, right, this RV tool has got all the details, be it be CPU, be it be memory, be it be, the networking, storage, and all those other things. So all those things are coming here in this RV tool. What we need to do is we'll have to just go and export this RV tool data in the form of CSV, right? So using this tool itself, you can go and export the data and have it downloaded locally. This is nothing but your current snapshot, your current inventory detail, which is hosted on Microsoft Azure, or let's say if you have the on-premise setup, there also you have got it. Now we have collected your on-premise detail. The next thing is to go ahead and enable yourself on AWS, because the idea is to go and make use of Amazon's transform service. So the first thing that we generally do is to go and enable ourselves using the identity center so that you have got the necessary permissions and all, right? So you have got the identity center enabled, and then you go and enable the Amazon Q transform. The service name is AWS transform in your account. Once you have enabled this service in your account, then obviously for the migration, you'll have to create those users. So create a user here, give that user a name, have them register and assign this license. There's a license that has to be assigned to that user. Now, once that license has been assigned to the user, then the next thing would be to go ahead and again log into the AWS account, and you will see that in the application section, you have got this license added corresponding to your username. Once that part is done, Next is to log in using the credentials and get into the console of Q-Transform. So this is a typical Q-Transform console or dashboard. This is how it looks like. There would be certain workspaces that would be pre-existing. Now let's say that if you want to initiate a migration, let's create a workspace and then click on what kind of migration do you want to do. Now, up to you, right? There are different features that this service offers. It can be either VMware migration.
This is not clear. Someone has messaged. You need to be loud.
Okay, can you hear me all right? If in case not, I'll just keep it here now.
No.
I hope I'm audible now, properly at least. Can you please confirm? Yes?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry for that. Yeah, so now when you get into this console, you will see that there are four options that is there. First one is you want to migrate your VMware workload to Amazon EC2. Now, if you are picking this option, it means that you have decided to get away from that VMware licensing and you will be using Amazon's own native virtualization technique where you do not need to pay any extra dollar. There is no licensing cost as such for the virtualization tool. You click on that. There are other options that is available as well. But right now we have decided to pick the VMware virtualization. Then there are certain options that it prompts, which is, do you want to migrate end-to-end VM? Do you want to just migrate the network component? Do you want to migrate network as well as the server? Or do you want just to have the discovery of the complete workload that is right now running? Our purpose is to have everything migrated. So select first one, and then you see that there is a detail that is getting popped up in your console, which is job type is VMware migration. Job name is VMware to EC2 migration, which is an end-to-end migration where there are few things that we are doing. First one is to perform the discovery, then generating the wave planning, creating that network configuration on AWS, have those networks deployed, and then finally start migrating all those servers. There is a human in the loop that is there. You say looks good, and then bingo. You will come to the console here, and in the console, you have the option. Now, it is important that you are going and collecting those inventory details, and it is important that you give certain S3 bucket the permission so that your data is stored in that bucket. So now if a customer has decided to migrate their workload, we as an AWS partner will not be keeping any inventory as such in our account. It's more of we'll be giving customers account number, and then once you give the customer account number, there is a validation link that the customer will have to confirm. Once that is confirmed, once that is approved, it means that customer is the owner for that particular account. Now the transformation will start. So you have confirmed it. We have updated the cloud transformation, this one, the console, and now you see that things have started changing. Perfect. So now the migration project, the things are connected. The discovery has started now. Now we know that right now there are two kind of discovery that you do. One is to go ahead and install an agent on all those VMs, or using this RV tool data, where what we will do, whatever data that we have exported, we'll upload that complete zip file here so that you are uploading the complete network details, the server details, the storage details, and everything that was there on the RV tool. That's one way of doing it. Second is, if you want to have a complete precise utilization report, then you can go and do the discovery as well. Perfect. So we have imported everything here, and then let's continue. Now we are continuing it. It is extracting that zip file, reading all the contents, and then having it properly executed. Now if you see, things has been imported, and now it is asking for the human input to go and review and see whatever we have imported. These are the details I see. Now in that Excel sheet, there were 28 servers. So 28 servers. There was one file that was imported. And now whatever configuration you had, right? you might need to come and confirm it here also. So we know that 28 server is something that's a good enough detail, and I'm fine with this detail here on AWS as well. So we'll just give a confirmation by saying yes. The next thing would be to go and generate a wave plan for you. Now, once you do this wave planning can help you out going and, having you planned which server will go first for the migration, which server will go last. If there is any sort of dependency that is there, you might want to go ahead and document all those things during the complete migration process. We also understand that in order to do all those things, if there's a requirement to go ahead and do it on your own, you can download the configuration file that Amazon is giving you, edit this file, and put all the details. So all the server details are already configured. You can go and prioritize all those wave plannings here. Let's say that if you want to, you have multiple waves, so you can always go and you can define the kind of wave planning that you want to do. All right. Now, once that part is done, you'll come here and you will upload that wave plan. Perfect. Now, this wave planning is done. What next? Next thing is to go ahead and review that planning, whatever Amazon has created. You come down and you see here, now things are done. Now, so my wave planning is generated. Now thing is that you want to migrate all these things. So in order to migrate it, you'll have to give your target account in which you want to migrate the complete workload. So we have already selected our source inventory. Now we are giving the target account number and the region in which you want to migrate all those VMs on AWS. Select the region, give the correct account number, and then proceed. In order to put all the details, again, you'll have to confirm the account ownership, that you're the account owner for this particular account number. You pass it on, approve it, and then you'll again come back here on the AWS transform page, and the transform page will tell you that perfect, I have validated it. You can start doing the complete transformation. So it's sending the confirmation to the AWS transform page. And once that confirmation has been given, then the next step would go now. Yeah. Now, so we have got the wave planning. We have already got the networking details. Now time has come where you need to design the complete networking. Now, in order to design this complete networking, there are two options. One is that you have already imported the RB tool data that you have got. So you have two options. Do you want to create an isolated VPC or do you want to have a hub and scope VPC? On the basis of the networking configuration that you have provisioned, now transform will go and it will start writing the complete conversion of network thing. So you will see that the templates are being written and Q transform is going and writing the complete CloudFormation template for you, which can help you out going and replicating the complete network that you had. So you see, there's a template that has been written here. Now, if you want to have any changes with respect to that network, you can go and make those changes. If in case you are comfortable with the network configuration that Amazon has created using this new service, you can just go and give a go ahead and then move to the next stage. Perfect. So now you see the VPC, the networking component is getting deployed. And then your complete VPC will come up on the basis of the configuration that you had on your source inventory or the source configuration. If in case you want to go ahead and review any additional details, you can always go and review it. If you want to provision certain third-party firewalls and all, you have the option to go and pass all those things in the form of prompt, and then you will see that things are getting added there as well. Perfect. Now, the VPC has been configured. All the necessary changes has been deployed. Now, the base infra is ready. Now, the next thing would be to go ahead and start doing the server migration. Let's say that if you have, in our case, we had let's say 24 servers or 30 servers. So the time has come that we should start migrating all those servers. In order to migrate all those servers, you'll have to go and log into your Amazon's account and then select for the Amazon MGN service, which is Application Migration Service. Using this service, it will start deploying all those things. Now there are a few things that you need to understand that generally if you're migrating certain workload, you're eligible for certain discounts in order to avoid that double bubble cost on AWS. And that's where there are certain programs that Amazon has. One among that is MAP, Migration Acceleration Program, right? So any migration project that you sign, there is an of certain values, you get the map ID. You might want to go ahead and tag your workload with the map tag that Amazon is giving so that you avail those benefits that Amazon can offer you. That is natively integrated. Once that part is done, now there's a wave planning that for all the VMs, there's a wave planning that will be done now. Now, you have already uploaded all things, but now the time has come where you are trying to migrate all those things on AWS. And that's where there are few options that you have with respect to the current configuration. So the mapping that has been done, and that mapping can be done on the basis of either the average utilization, the maximum utilization, or some other configurations. In addition to that, if you're comfortable using certain configurations of EC2, like if you're comfortable with certain instance type in the family, on the basis of your business requirement, you can always go and specify those things as well. Perfect. Now this wave planning is happening now. So the inventory has been pulled and the complete wave planning with respect to how all those servers will be migrated is getting generated. Perfect. So that had now got generated. Now you can go next and continue. You'll have to confirm the wave planning that has been done and then proceed. Now, once this part is done, right, you might want to go ahead and check all the details, and on all those things can be looked at the workload log console that Amazon has. Now, once that part is done, you might want to go ahead and deploy the agent, because to install or to bring all those VMs from the Microsoft Azure cloud or from the on-premise cloud to AWS, you'll have to install certain agents. So I have two options. One is to install that agent via AWS, or if you want, you can also go and install these agents via the manual method, where there is a command that will be given to you. You'll have to paste that command in your source VM so that the replication starts happening. You can just follow this step, and there's a command that Amazon is giving you. Copy this command and then have everything migrated. All right. Now, this is your source Azure inventory, where you have to paste all those things. And now if you see, the moment you have passed all the things, your server will got automatically discovered on AWS. And after that discovery, you will see that for any migration, there are certain things that happens, right? There are certain stages that is there. Those stages are, again, you see all these servers are now placed here, and all these details related to that server is coming here. So now the discovery is happening, and right now the migration is in progress. You can always go and take a look at what at which stage you are in with respect to the migration. Is it something that the discovery is still happening, or have you already started doing the migration? Are you at the cutover window, or have you already done the cutover, validated all those things, and then it is in the ready to be launched stage, right? So these things can be configured here. Now, once that part is done, obviously, whenever we are going and doing any migration, it is important to go and do all the testing. So you have the option to go and do the testing, launch a cutover instance, do confirmation of all those things manually, and then proceed further. This is a centralized dashboard across which you can go and you can visualize the status of all the different servers that is undergoing the migration. Once that part is done, then you will go ahead and then do the final cutover. This cutover is successful, and you see that now the server that was hosted on VMware with Azure as the hyperscaler has been migrated to AWS using this Agentic AI tool. So there are different use cases that we see customers having it. But yes, this is one of the use cases just to showcase that, bringing your workload, bringing your VMware workload to AWS is something which is easy, and you do not need to worry about it. We can help you out having it migrated on AWS. All right. As a result of that, you will see that generally customers, you know, get certain benefits with respect to the timeline. So if you look at the traditional migration, that traditional migration generally takes, 6 months to 1 year time for the complete things to be done. When we try doing all these things using this Q transform, it reduces the overall time significantly. In fact, this also improves the success rate because you know that there's a proven solution that is there which can help you out going and bringing the complete workload in AWS. In fact, it is more cheaper because you do not need to involve many engineers to have all these things migrated. You do not need many people to go and understand all these wave plannings and all, because all those things are properly documented, all those steps are properly designed so that things are proper, things are seamless. It is AI powered with almost negligible data loss. There are certain customers whom we have helped going and doing the complete transformation. There was a federal government project where there were more than 500 plus VMs that had to be migrated using our expertise and using the solutions and the services that we have designed in a collaboration with AWS. A very complex VMware setup, enterprise customers having very diverse storage solutions. It was having FSx, EFS, ONTAP, right? So all those different storage components were migrated using our expertise and the solution that AWS has developed. Then there was one customer, a fintech customer, one of the leading fintech customer in India, very leading, but in this fintech business from a pretty long time now. The challenge was that they were actually getting the competition from all those trendy services and the kind of things that has been developed, and the challenge was that they had to upgrade themselves. They had to upgrade their complete .NET application code, have it completely modernized. In addition to that, also there was a requirement to go ahead and save the cost. The complete transformation was done using this Amazon Q transform service. So be it be the infra modernization, be it be the application modernization, or be it be something which is hybrid. This third case study is of a customer, one of the leading GSP provider, again having a very complex workload. The requirement was to go ahead and transform their complete workload. Not only the workload, also there was a requirement to go ahead and transform their complete database from Microsoft SQL to Postgres, and that's where we have helped that customer going and getting their database transformed using our expertise. Right. So if you have any sort of VMware workload, you do not need to feel very reluctant about the complexities, the challenges, because all those things are very much doable now. Right. With this, I'll hand over my this one to Nazia, and I'll finish my presentation. Nazia, over to you now. I'll just open the floor for the question and answer. All right. Perfect. Anyone having any question?
Please write in the chat box.
Yeah, you can just write in the chat box.
Waiting for you.
Anyone having any question, guys? Or if you feel that there are certain challenges.
The question has come.
Yeah, so
The question is.
it's more or less, Vivek, it's more or less synonym, because what generally happens, right? It's more of whenever you're going and redesigning your complete infrastructure, it also means that you're going and changing certain things in the architecture, right? So there are 7 hours of cloud migration that you see, right? And in that, this is one of the pillar, and it's more or less synonym to each other, which is you're going and redesigning your infrastructure. Now this redesigning can be with respect to, like going ahead and making certain changes with respect to the kind of workload that you're having, right? So it's more or less, it's very much synonym. Now the question is that how do you identify the impacts? When you say, could you please be more specific here? How do you identify the impacts? Impacts in what sense? Is it a business impact or impact of what? So Shailendra has one question, that how does Access.io ensures minimal downtime or zero data loss during AI-led migration? So Shailendra, the thing is that generally what happens is that whenever we are going and doing all these migrations, there are again, this migration is very much, it's not complete AI led, right? It's not complete AI driven. It's more of AI along with human in the loop, right? There are certain occasions where if you feel that your workload is so critical where you don't want to have any downtime, there is a possibility that there would be the human in the loop, where we will be going ahead and we will be having a DMS server set up where we are going and doing a two-way write of the complete database. So it's not just one place, right? We are going and putting the data at two places altogether. So whenever there's a requirement to go and have certain workload migrated with zero data loss, and zero downtime and zero data loss as well. In fact, we also ensure that all these tools have some validation checks in place, so that that validation check can help you out identify that whatever was residing at the source, it is properly copied at the destination. So there are certain scripts which goes, which validates all those schema changes, which validates the thing that has been migrated, and on the basis of it, will tell you that this is your current standing, and it will clearly tell you because you have got the complete observability in place, which can help you out going and identifying the kind of data that has been transformed. So it's more of, there are certain validation mechanism that has been inculcated in the complete solution, that we ensure that there is minimal data, or in fact zero data loss in certain occasions. Now, Salindra has one more question, that how adaptable is the platform for custom on-prem configuration or legacy systems? So here, Salindra, there are a few things that I just wanted to highlight. One is that right now, this system, the AI-led one that I have showcased, it is well equipped to go and migrate your VMware workload. It is well equipped to go and migrate your .NET or the mainframe systems, if in case there is a diverse requirement that you are having. Now, irrespective of whether that workload, VMware workload, is on the on-premise setup or whether on the other cloud, this tool will work to help you out getting everything migrated. But if you have something which is non-VMware, in that case, our expertise will come into picture, where we have helped customers going and bringing all those things using some other tool. Question from Apurva is, what is simple quick win we can achieve with VMware modernization that delivers visible value in first 3 months? So Apurva, the first one is that you do not need to again worry about all those licensing, all those virtualization management and all. That's the first thing, the first one. Second is, the quickest of all is price, because here you're getting rid of the complete licensing cost that is present, right? So it's more of the virtualization on AWS will be free. So you'll be just paying for the compute that you're using. The underlying infrastructure is getting, that's built, but not the virtualization technique. So that's the second thing that you will get, right? So that's the second thing. Third thing is the assurance. that whenever you are going ahead and having it migrated, you know that all those dilemma is over now, right? Now, Maksud has one question that how is Agentic AI evolving within Axo.io's roadmap? Will it extend beyond migration into AI ops or infrastructure automation? Very good question, Maksud. So this Agentic AI, again, this was one of the capability that we have with respect to going ahead and enabling customer in going and doing their complete transformation. However, we do have certain tools. We call it as AI Studio. That AI Studio has got a lot of adapters, a lot of plugins, which can not only help you out going and doing the migration, but it can also help you out going and solving your customized use case problems. We have helped a couple of customers in the recent past going and setting up their complete observability using the AI Ops solution. In fact, along with AWS, we have designed that solution, which can help you out going and monitoring that workload and setting up the AI Ops. Question from Sahil is, what kind of training and enablement does Access provide for in-house IT team to maintain and manage the platform? Very good question, Sahil. Very good question, Sahil. So Sahil, what we generally do is, first is that if you have decided that you want to migrate your complete workload to AWS, then the first thing that we do is to go ahead and obviously handhold the complete migration and be there with you till this complete migration is over. That's first thing. Second is that once this migration is over, there are certain immersion days that we plan. We enable our customers having them the understanding of the basic AWS services. Along with that, your infrastructure that has been deployed to the new hyperscaler, in this case AWS. So there are a few things that we do. One is, you know, giving you the workshops, giving you the enablement sessions, so that even if we are out, you should be in the control of the complete infrastructure. So one is that is a complete migration thing that generally comes at no cost. And in addition to that, there are certain enablements that has been planned, which can help you out going and managing and maintaining your complete infrastructure altogether. Vivek has been questioned, do you have any similar plan for migration to Azure local? No, Vivek, right now we only operate on AWS. So we are a pure play AWS partner. So we help customers getting their complete workload deployed on AWS. Now, a question from Senthil is, what kind of guardrails we have from the AI-led system in terms of migration execution and whenever it will adhere to the EU AI Act 2? So here, Senthil, the thing is that the way in which all these things have been designed is AI is driving it, but it's not that human is not present. Humans are there. We are just leveraging AI so that things can be automated. But if you would have seen the demo, right, at each and every step, what we have done is there's a human in the loop that is there. So everything that you're performing using AI, there's a guardrail that is there. And right now that guardrail is with respect to human in the loop. So human in loop, so it's not that, all these things are so automated that AI will take care of it. No, it is AI driven, but human is there. So human in the loop is still present here in this case, Senthil. Okay. Okay, not a problem. So this video will be available on the public link so that you can just go and take a look at it. All right. Anyone having any other questions, guys? I see someone is raising their hand. I think Maksud has, but the query has already been answered. Anyone else having any question? Please feel free to ask. Or I'll just drop my number here as well so that, if you need any help, I'm just putting my number along with my LinkedIn ID so that we can connect and we can connect and we can discuss the kind of customized challenge that we're facing right now. So Mr. Vijay has one question that during migration, what are the top securities and how to what are the top securities and how to mitigate them? So generally what happens is, right, whenever you're going and doing these kind of migration, the few things that we ensure, for example, let's say that if you're going and migrating the complete database, it is important that that database migration is happening via a private channel instead of having it, migrated on a public channel, right? So whenever we are going and doing any sort of migration, we ensure that your data is getting migrated via a private channel. It can be either having some VPN setup, or in case if you have on-premise workload, probably if there's a need, we also ensure that direct connect and all those things are in place, right? So that's first thing. Second thing is that we also ensure that whatever frameworks, whatever guidelines that your organization is following right now, beforehand itself, we take a note of all those things so that during the time of implementation, all those things are already covered here in AWS. So in that discovery phase or in the assessment phase, we try to ensure that we gather all the compliance requirement that you have so that, if there is a requirement to go and have all those things, put on AWS, we try to inculcate all those things in such a way that things are covered here in AWS as well. Okay. If in case you have any queries or if you feel that we can help you out, bringing your workload on AWS, email address is sales@access.io. Feel free to drop your queries here. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, share details, and I'll be more than happy to connect you with our team who can help you out getting all these things migrated. It's not just migration. Even if you feel that you need any help in AI, if you need any help in ML, if you need any sort of help in this agentic AI space, more than happy to help you out, more than happy to talk to you and get all those things solved. All right. Done. Perfect. If none of you are having any question, I'll call off now. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Vivek, and we'll see you again. Please feel free to reach out and connect so that we can work together. Thank you.